Rashid Nori, back at you again with another one from King's Court, where queens are raised and kings are born. Today, I wanted to address this hoe phase. You know, the 304 phase, propaganda phase, triple G phase, all of that. Now, as far as this 304 stage, where with all sorts of activities are conjured up in the hearts and minds of the woman to feel validated. She doesn't realize the damage that she does to her life, hers, her children's, and her family's in it all. Because she just doesn't have an understanding of being able to care for that which is the outcome of her actions. First we have with us the tricking and easy phase, where you're playing this game to manipulate, maneuver, and sustain the bag. But yet and still, you're manipulating, maneuvering, and sustaining a history that will follow you to destroy your very being, your very existence, your very life worth, value, and things of that sort. So in this we say, to you be your way, to me be mine. But on the flip side of it all, we guys are the biggest downfall. I'm not saying all, but what you look for in that man, you're not looking for the man. You're looking for what he has, what he looks like, and what he does or says, rather than what he is, who he is, how he maintains, how he manifests, how he brings forth betterment. You don't seem to get the importance of finding the good in someone as opposed to that which they have a benefit. So ladies, you play around with your 304 stage, with your youth, and after being used or abused in most cases, your children benefit nothing. They're without a father, without stability, because you popping from this place to the next, trying to find the next come up. And then you rather have your way with their dads by trying to control them through the love that they actually have for you or that child. All in reverence to this 304 stage. So, in hindsight to it all, you take on that responsibility as well. See, you want to blame everyone that have hurt you, that have mistreated you, and that have discarded you. But nevertheless, you have caused this upon yourself. You're not the woman, the dream girl, the queen that man thought he had. All because his picker is fucked up too. So with all that being, you now become duty bound. you're duty bound to feel you don't need a man. Woo! I don't understand how in the world you feel like you don't need a man just because you can go get that bag yourself. Well, the first problem is that you have looked for a man under the preference that he has to have finances beyond yours. He has to be 6 foot or better. He has to be sexy, fine, and he has to have with him a certain game. That right there in itself is a sure sign that you are delusional. Because you have to know that this type of guy is not going to wife you. He's going to discard you, mistreat you. Well, he may treat you well, but he's going to discard you if you don't play the part. And the part is part of the harem that he desires. Granted, most men desire more than one woman. We like flavors. But nevertheless, if you fortify yourself with understanding of the things that's necessary to become a queen, he will hold you. You will find the desire to make him happy in what he wants, needs, and desires. And even to the point of helping him build business. Because you all are business oriented in all ways, shape, and form. Hence y'all wanting to get that bag and feeling you don't need a man. But nevertheless, a man will always be needed. So you'll have it in your mind that, well, I don't need him except for to make a child. Well, we already know also that you desire the family unit. You desire to have a cohabitation with a man because you feel incomplete. And this is also the reason why you fall into that whole phase, because you find yourself not being able to sustain a man, to retain a man. So you feel as though you might as well go ahead and hope. That's never a good turnout for you ladies. It's never going to be. See this duty-bound factor? This duty-bound factor of wanting to take a man to the extremes and then tell him that you don't need him. It's crazy. So why is it that you become bored and run from the one who is really good to you, nurtures your heart, your feelings? He's attentive to your feelings and things that you feel and desire. He's attentive to these things. He makes it known that you are indeed someone he would like to see in the future. But because you get bored, you run away. You desire to take into account nothing but your own selfish desires. And this never works out. Because eventually, trust me, we are intellectual individuals. We will see it coming. And we will leave you to the wayside or just use and abuse you for that box. So, in doing so with this grandiose, duty-bound mindset, you never grow in understanding of anything that you have been through. You don't take into account your experiences, and you just keep falling into the same rabbit hole. You have no desire to become better. You don't take your experiences and become better. This in itself becomes a grave issue with your own soul. See, because now you're now fighting with your own demons at this point. So now you are now mounting up body counts. You are mounting up body counts. One after another after another. And this is a great deterrent to most men. No man really wants a hoe. Now, we want a freak in the bed. We want that woman who is desirous of completing the mission, so to speak, never leaving us desiring anyone else. These are good attributes for a good woman to have. See, it's noted as a hoe phase, but nevertheless, you're an acquiring mind who needs to know how to satisfy and please a man. But you have gone into the detriment and remembrance of all those who have discarded you because of your whole phase, because of your dead knowledge of self. Now, I say dead knowledge of self, confirming that you become dead inside. See, ladies, you're not designed to take on the many different life forces that is acquired by the sexual nature of man and woman. See, we share each other's souls at one point or another in sexual relations. So you become so disunited with your own natural feelings, your own natural way of being, that you turn into a man. Yes, you turn into a man in retrospect to your mindset. Oh, it's just another bag. Or it's just another dick. Or it's just another man I'ma use. So when this body count piling up, you pick for finances, you pick for status, you choose one to fill a void. And it's only for the moment, not for the long haul. It's only in retrospect to you satisfying your innermost desires to be completed. And it's usually because all the completion that you have ever followed up on was sexual in that 304 stage. So now you have been labeled as trash, load builder. I mean, that's one that I kind of laugh at, because it's just crazy that you think this whole phase, this 304 stage, is conducive to you getting the bag or getting validation. Validation, ladies, should come from a man who really shows you and proves to you on a daily basis his love, his aspirations, and his desires for your happiness. So now you grovel in the life badges that you have acquired. Yeah, badges. Because you brag about breaking a nigga. I'm breaking niggas. I'm breaking niggas. You breaking them off. Now, for those SIMP guys who just like to be in the midst of a beautiful face and a fine body, I can't rightly hate on that man, because he does what he does because he wasn't able to do it before, and it's exciting to him for the moment. If he has it to do whatever he does to satisfy that woman, then that's what he does because he wants what he wants when he wants it. However he may get it. By paying for it, tricking for it, or whatever the case may be in his doing things. But nevertheless, you want to break a nigga. But you'll find yourself running into that brick wall at the end of the day when you are trying to make a man a boy. Because that's just what you're doing when you're trying to break a nigga. You're turning a man into a boy. He's now your son. You get him to do whatever you want him to do when you want him to do it. And the truth be told, that man is also playing you. For what it's worth, we want the box. Absolutely, we want the box. We want to be able to have sexual encounters and choose who we want. But we don't get those choices. We got to fit in where we get in. So you ladies think it's easy for a man to acquire the box. No, you turn us down on a daily basis. Like out of 100 women that we may approach, 5 we may get to lay down with. That's a big number. As opposed to you guys, out of 100 guys that may pull you up, maybe 1 may get your chance to give you a call, get to know you, make time with you. And this, in fact, is a proof that, ladies, all you got to do is look pretty. And you get everything you want. But we got to build ourselves up. We got to manifest a certain stature in life to be able to cohabitate with you. In some cases, you like us just because, you know, we're genuine. But that's very rare. See, the genuine dude don't always get what he wants. He may get certain satisfactions of the deal, but that as far as it goes, because the 304 stage is still very much there. Break a nigga stage is another level altogether. You guys have it in your hearts and minds to believe that breaking a nigga is conducive to your future. Don't get it twisted. A nigga will play his part to get that box. He will play his part to get in. And then the turmoil begins. The drama begins. Sometime the hand game will begin. But again, I say to you ladies, be mindful of what you're choosing in a man. Choose in accordance to his character, his family life, and how he is with his immediate family, his mother, his father. What was his upbringing like? This sort. Granted, there's certain anomalies like myself, where he've had the hardest life in the world, and it doesn't faze him so much so that he treats you badly. You know, I I was raised by my mother, my grandmother, my 4 aunts. And then I had the circumventing moments of my father, but my brothers were always by my side, always right there, showing me what a man is like. So with that said, a lot of men don't have that. They are single parent homes where the mother's raising him, and he's usually by himself, or he has sisters. So he comes up with the emotional, distraught thinking of that of a woman. Granted, he's now seeking his mother. But back to this disastrous strike. Disaster strikes when you ladies have gotten to this break a nigga phase and stage. So now your desperation is really, really hitting hindsight, because you're 35 or older and you don't have a family life with a man to secure your family and provide for you and your children, of which you may have 1 to upwards of 5 children by all different men. And this is never a good thing, because the man who you may find to be the good suitor for you is not trying to be a father to nobody else's child. And you, because you have cut off all means with the fathers, all relations with the fathers, you have created an anomaly that's going to be the gravest issue for your children's growth and development, having a male role model in their midst. Now, in all of that, you will find yourself lonely and bitter, hating men that you once encountered, calling them all sorts of wicked names or giving them all sorts of tyrannic attributes. Leaving nothing left but your self-hate. Because you don't realize that it becomes self-hate after a period of time, when you're saying to yourself and that man, you are the reason why I am the way I am today. Like, really? You can't blame somebody else for your choices. I say it all the time, we need to fix our pickers. And I did that myself, so I can speak on this factor. And I rationalized it for a long time in my life. That the good ones, I have children with. I can say that honestly. The good ones I've had children with. And I have 7. But the bad ones, I actually loved and wanted to hold on to. We men, we like to fix. We like to fix and make things right. But you ladies, sometimes you can't let go of bad vibes or bad feelings or bad experiences with us or with others. Sometimes we pay for the bad experiences that you've had with others, and then other times we pay for the bad experiences we have given you. But there's always that one that you will always love and always go back to, no matter who you with. And this becomes a grave issue at the time of your loneliness. So you'll turn to the worst of individuals instead of the one you already noted that got away. Even if he may be married, you don't remember that and try to find that type of man. See that one that got away? You always have in the back of your mind, men and women. You always want to make amends to try to find that person, if not rehash those past loves and desires. So now that the disaster has stricken, the disaster has stricken you to the point where as though your remorse is no longer even there for your actions in your life. You try to overlook it and build up this self-reliance factor again, where you feel like you don't need a man, but the loneliness will always settle in. At night, in the morning, when you find yourself playing with yourself or bringing out the toys, you know, you always will remember you do need a man. I mean, of course, you can please yourself. You can try to satisfy yourself. You can even try to make yourself happy. But it doesn't last long. It will always be a sinking feeling that you do need a man at this point in life. So reciprocity say it correctly. Reciprocity is the ultimate goal. What does that mean? Reciprocity is when two people have two existing ideals to match, and then they move forward on those things. See, this is the same mindset that you build up together, and then when you find somebody, you have that building on the same aspects, that desire to make things work on the same levels. That's when I say a queen becomes a queen, when she realizes that she does need a man and she needs to play her role and set her position with a man to retain him, to sustain a long-lasting relationship. But your value is usually at the time when you are 25, 26, 27, even 28. But after that, it starts to go down. You don't want to understand or accept this factor, but it is what it is. At a certain point in your life, your value, your worth to a man's eyes and desires plummet. Number one being body count. Number two, your mindset, your thinking, your feelings that you don't need a man. And then last but not least, you will always play that game to break a nigga. Try to get control of a nigga. It's never going to work. Because at the end of the day, the biggest gamer is a man, especially a man from the streets. So stop trying to game with us, because we are the game makers. Stop trying to play us, because we're the greatest players. What you think the strip clubs and all this other, sexual stuff is for? Because y'all know we the game players. Y'all see y'all try to capitalize on it by Porno and OnlyFans and showing off on Instagram and all the other apps, media that you have available at your fingerprints. So I'm just saying this to say, ladies, it's time to start teaching your young ladies how to be queens, how to get a good man, how to choose right, how to not go through that 3 or 4 stage, how to not try to have in your heart that you want a baby but you don't want a man with him. You know what I mean? Teach them how to hold firm and believe that the family unit is important, because our nation our nation are falling off the face of the earth. Look at the letter boys and girls. This is something that is gravely a detriment to the benefit of our nation. We stop having children in the means that is healthy so our children can live without having the hate in their hearts to kill and murder everything around them. We are a dying breed. Facts. It's time for us to wake up, y'all. We're sleeping giants. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to get up and be the kings and queens and rulers of this world as we are intended by God. If you are people who understand the word of God, then know that God has intended for you to be the rulers of this earth. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I can't say it enough. Ladies, I love you dearly. I'm just trying to help us become better in ourselves so that we can gradually become better in our communities. And so that the world can start saying it was because of you that the world is in order again. So with that said, I'm signing off. It's Rashid Nori. Cop the merch, y'all. Cop the merch. Alpha Maniacs is coming to a store near you on the internet. Why? Because I am who I am. This is King's Court. And once again, I say to you, peace and blessings. Persevere, my family. Wake up and be great. One love. I'm out.